Let's try our next caller from the 847 area code. Caller from 847, go ahead.
Hi, David.
Hey, go ahead. Who's this?
My question is, a lot of people have made the comparison between Trump and Hitler, and there are definitely some similarities.
Which people?
So that's a good question. But what about the people who elected Trump? And in general, how do the diehard Trumpers of today compare with the people, specifically the German people of that time period, post World War I, both in their moral integrity and their susceptibility to propaganda and manipulation?
Well, let me, if I can for a second, what do you think is the similarity?
Well, I don't think we're quite there yet. I think it'd probably be some fear mongering to say that, there's some big differences, but they're just like with Trump and the Trump and Hitler comparison, there are some similarities.
Mm. Do you think, let's say we establish that diehard Trumpists are 40% like the population of Germany that supported Adolf Hitler in the early 20th century. Would that be useful to us in some way? Like, what would we do with that? I guess I'm questioning whether this is like a good path, right? I mean, we've identified Trump's authoritarian tendencies, and we know that in modern day, he seems more simpatico with the authoritarian leaders like Rodrigo Duterte and Kim Jong-un and President Erdogan. But I guess I'm wondering, like, okay, if Trumpists have a 35% overlap with Third Reich supporters, then what? What do we do then?
Well, yeah, I guess it's all just kind of trying to predict what's going to happen in the future, as far as, how bad will things get, or if you're more optimistic, when will things get better,
Yeah. I don't know. I hesitate to really get involved in that question because I don't know that it's that useful. I mean, I think that I've talked about how Trumpists there's a few different ones, right? There's those who voted for Trump out of sort of a sense of self-enrichment, that they believe Trump would do good things for them regardless of what they thought the morality was. There's people who were bamboozled and tricked into voting for Trump because they believe the things he said. There are people who just vote for whoever the Republican is and don't really know much else about it. There's all these different groups, and I just don't know that we could ever really get an answer as to how similar is the Trump electorate to people living in Germany during World War II. I think a more interesting and maybe productive area, it would be, what can we do in 2018 to take power back,
Right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for the call. I really appreciate it. An interesting question, but I worry that it's not the most productive.
No, it's a big question. Yeah.
All right.
Godwin's Law showing up on the David Pakman Show live calls.
Yes, indeed. Fourth caller today.